All right, that didn't work. Get your ice cream. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our time of gathering and worship this morning, and we're glad that everybody could be here with us today. My name is Michael Richards, and I will be your worship leader this morning. Please take the time to silence all of your electronic devices, and while you silence them, open up your hearts and your minds as we settle into our sacred space. And before we begin our time of worship, I invite representatives of committees and groups to come forward to the microphone and to share their news with us.
Telling you, eventually I'll get you all to sit up front. So, well, you're already up front, Martha. I know. So, yeah. Then I get to go first every time. So, good morning. I'm Rev Tracie. I have like 3 different types of announcements. The first one is what our holiday schedule looks like. So this Wednesday is winter solstice, and we will be doing a winter solstice ritual here at 7 p.m. Children with grown-ups are welcome. There will be fire, so parents and responsible adults and other adults make your decisions thusly. We may be outside. We hopefully will be outside for part of it, so have warm clothes with you because it's going to be cold. Secondly, Candlelight Christmas Eve, 7 p.m. here. That will not be live streamed, mainly because last time we had some issues with that of the cameras and had to have the lights a little brighter. So please join us 7 p.m. Christmas Eve. And then Christmas morning, we will be here at 10:30 with a service and cookies. Bring cookies with you to share. Afterwards, we'll have like a little cookie potluck with some cocoa and coffee and all that. Second hat. If you are interested in learning how to use our wonderful sound and AV equipment and be able to help get us live streamed on Sundays when our fabulous team needs to take off, we will be doing a quick training this Saturday at 9 a.m. So if you are interested, please come. It doesn't fully commit you, but it might. So just be aware of that. And finally, as you all know, I've been pursuing my Doctor of Ministry, and it is finally time to be able to talk about my project and to begin my project. So the project will be beginning in February, on Sunday, February 5th. It will run for 6 weeks. It is a class on what does it mean to be a practicing Unitarian Universalist. The classes are 2 hours long. I do ask if you are interested in doing it that you make sure you can be at all of them. You will be asked questions. You will be filling out a journal that will be turned in to me for data collection and then returned to you, and there may be interviews afterwards. If you are interested, down at the office, there's a set of metal cages. Those are actually our little mailboxes. Mine's on the bottom. There will be this packet that has the informed consent forms. You can take one, read over it, fill it out, and then you can put it in this folder that will be also in there if you're interested. And you can always email me at ministeruniversityuus.org if you have any questions or come talk to me. So thank you.
Margie with membership. For anybody, new visitors who would like to know more about Unitarian Universalism, I'm holding a little intro class right after services down the hall on the right, where we talk about our congregation and what we have for each other. And if you're new and interested, please show up. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. David McElroy. We are going to have the men's group do the coffee in February. So some of the men's group that's here today, if you want to sign up for February, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Gina Busby with Spirit Seekers. We meet every Wednesday, but we're on break. So we will come back January 4th. I think that's the first Wednesday after the break, after the holiday, rather. We meet at 10 o'clock, 10 to 11:30, and we'll be starting a new book, and it is Spirit spirituality for the skeptic. Is that correct? So join us online. Yes, we're Zoom.
John Mowbray on behalf of Facilities and Grounds, and just want to thank the following folks for coming out yesterday. Martha was here, Derek Catlin, Barry, London was here, and Dave Simons. All right, thank you. So again, oh, Lorraine, I'm sorry. Oh, I saw you briefly, and then...
She's always here.
Was she working, though? Yeah, she did, she did. No, she's a great worker. She blew off all the leaves and everything, but workday is the third Saturday of every month, 9 to 12. All right, thank you.
Joey Cole, first of all, for hospitality, thank you, David. He's already getting it together. And the parent support group is doing January. I haven't heard who's doing what yet, but I'm all ears when you know. March is Amy and I and who else said they would help? I can't remember, but somebody else said they were going to step up. So March is covered. I'm looking for April, and I'm hoping to twist some arms in SAC today. It's our Social Action Committee. So we'll see. But, you know, we still have a number of other months to cover, so if you are interested, please let me know. The second hat is the SAC hat, and I don't want to take any of Mary Ann's thunder away, but this week I delivered all of the gifts to the Hope Community Center, and I was so excited. I saw Sister Ann, and it was so exciting, and all these kids, it seemed like 100 teenagers came out and took all the toys and took them in. Oh, please, you have to come into our room. And I forgot to take pictures. But they sent me some. So as soon as I find out where I need to send them, I will do that. They'll be in the newsletter next week. Thank you.
Yay.
Mary Ann Feldheim from Social Action Committee, and thank you, Joey. She was our lead on that, and you all did a fabulous job. There were great toys and gifts, so kudos to us. The other is that today is the last day for our giving to the Knights Pantry, so hopefully you brought something. Now we are looking to do this on a regular basis once a month, but we did this for the last month and a half, almost 2 months. We're connecting with UCF. This is for those students. People are surprised that there are homeless students who are going to UCF, sleeping in their cars. There are also some that are really in dire straits. So the pantry provides either food or types of simple things like shave cream and razors and toothbrushes and toothpaste and toilet paper that, you know, when you have only so much money, do you eat or do you get toothbrush? You need sort of both. But so today's the last day. If you have something, please bring it in so we can give that. Lastly, we're having our Social Action Committee meeting today. It's 11:55 after service. We're physically meeting in the library, but we also have Zoom. So for those who are at home, you can Zoom. The link is in Notable News, so hope to see you all, and happy holidays.
Really quick, I thought I'd take the opportunity. I already sent out a text, but just in case anybody's listening, Beacon Youth Group is on hiatus until January 8th. It will be here before you know it, but Chris Reed is working a horse show this weekend, so we can't meet today, and then the holidays. Everybody should focus on family, so thanks.
Thank you. Now everybody is really up and informed with what's going on in our community, and please pay attention to that. You can also check Notable News and find out the information in there as well. For my opening words this morning, I have chosen a portion of an article that is called Season of Light, Transforming Darkness with a Cozy Glow. It's written by Andrew Bleckman, who lives up in Vermont. Growing up, my agnostic patchwork family had a tough time figuring out which holiday to celebrate. Some years it was Christmas, some years it was Hanukkah, and if I was particularly lucky, we celebrated both. But it wasn't the gifts that I remember, except for the treasured Mickey Mouse watch. It was the lights. The centerpiece of every Hanukkah is a menorah, with its 8 candles for 8 nights of illumination, plus a special one to light them all. The quest for light in times of darkness has been a human impulse ever since humans first harnessed flame, yet still wondered where it came from. As a species dependent upon vision and on artificial warmth to compensate for bare skin, few things resonate more than light. It symbolizes safety, knowledge, advancement, and even joy. Critical attributes, particularly when intertwined with spirituality. If there's a religion that doesn't equate light with divine presence or inner enlightenment, he says, it's news to me. Christians light votive and memorial candles in churches. Jews light candles to welcome the Sabbath. Buddhist and Hindu shrines incorporate candles. The holiday Diwali, celebrated by Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, and some Buddhists, is a festival of light, as is Kwanzaa, an African-American holiday that celebrates African heritage across 7 nights of candle lighting. And the symbolism of illuminating the darkness is not limited to spiritual things. The word enlightenment is synonymous with scientific progress. He says that the age of enlightenment is one example. In popular culture, a great epiphany is often equated with a light bulb or a flash of light. At our best, our democracy is referred to as a beacon of light, which equates with hope. The quest for light in times of darkness has been a human impulse ever since humans first harnessed flame, yet still wondered where it came from. Stay tuned for more on light. Our music this morning will be led by Inclusion, and our first piece this morning is Walking in a Winter Wonderland. Words and music by Felix Bernard and Richard B. Smith.
Tell you that when I was either 4 or 5, my grandfather would drag me and all my brothers and sisters to Kiwanis groups and all these Elks groups and all these other groups to sing this song. And because I was so young, I would know certain phrases. My brothers and sisters knew it by heart, so I would belt out the phrases I knew. So this song has always been in my heart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You don't know everything about me.
Surprising.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening, a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. Sing a love song while we stroll along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman. We'll pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. walking in a winter wonderland.
Isn't it nice when families can sing together? This morning, for our candle lighting, we have Livy, aka Livy, Shelter. Livy is 9 years old, and she is excited that her grandma is back from Vermont and is going to babysit with them. And now we recite our words in the light of truth and the warmth of love. We gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And now join me as we affirm who we are as a community of faith. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. I want to wish a warm welcome to everyone who is gathered here today, and to all of our friends who are joining us online. We welcome you, and you are a very special part of our community. For those who are here for the first time, welcome. We hope you come back and see us again. We encourage you to visit several times before you make up your mind. We have various speakers. Our minister, Rev Tracie, who will be speaking with us today, speaks usually a couple of times a month. And then the other Sundays we have people from academia, from charitable organizations, and even from members of our own congregation come and share a word with us. So please come and join us more than once as we gather together. Now is a time for us to share briefly our joys and concerns. I invite you to come to the microphone and share them with your church family. But please remember that whatever you say is going out over the airways, and so be careful what you say, because everyone will know.
Hello, church family. I was just listening to the committee moments, and this is a pretty small UU church. I mean, Kelly and I went to one that was 12 members near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and that's grown to 27. I just checked it today, so they're really growing. But I just wanted to say I'm amazed at all of the stuff this little church does, how much we help each other, and how much we help others. So I just want to say that I'm thankful for all of that.
Hello, everybody. I'm David McElroy. Today is the last public performance of my 25th year of my one-man Christmas carol. I do want to thank the people that have come so far. If you have an inclination, at 2:30 this afternoon, we'll be in Oviedo Mall, but in a theater. At a theater. And I have to specifically thank my director, Chloe McElroy, and my director of 20 years before that, Marilyn Firminick McGinnis. And I want to acknowledge my daughter and son-in-law are here today, and that they're coming to see the show, and they've been an integral part of it as well. Thank you.
I don't know, the whole McElroy clan is here today. Yeah.
Start with that?
Yes, I definitely do. Amy and I went to Remus's concert on Thursday evening at Colonial High School, and the choir, the band, the orchestra, they all played. It was fantastic. It was so good. Really put us in the mood.
It was the best thing that I've experienced this whole holiday season. I cried a little bit on the way home. It was so good. I was so proud of them. There weren't a lot of people there. It was a really kind of modest turnout. So I was just so glad, because I'll be honest, I got home at that day and I was tired and I didn't want to go. And I went and I was rewarded.
And it's wonderful there. They don't always get a big crowd, but the kids really support each other. When the band is playing, the kids in the choir are really yelling and clapping for them, and vice versa. It's just amazing to see them support each other. It really does your heart good. And the other thing I wanted to say is I went to David's show last night and with my husband, and we loved it. So if you can go today at 2:30 at Penguin Point, I'm giving you another plug because it is well worth it. It was just wonderful. It's only the second time I've seen it, but it was just terrific. I'm so glad I went again.
Good point. Hey, John, do I have permission to share HIPAA-related information? Your arm? Your arm. Okay. So I just wanted to share, my joy is John's little skin cancer on his arm was super superficial. So he'll show you his stitches if you ask him, probably. No, it's pretty gross, actually. Okay, really quick, because I know I'm holding everybody up. This is heavy on my heart, but I need to ask you to drop a stone, please, for my dear friend and coworker, Julie Lashbrook, who lost her husband yesterday, Reverend Cameron Lashbrook, after a 3-year battle, y'all, with glioblastoma that was diagnosed the week that the world shut down for COVID. It's just been awful and rough, but they had a beautiful morning together. He's really not been himself for a long time. But they had this beautiful morning of connection Friday that she shared with me Friday afternoon. And it just filled my heart. I'm so glad she had that time with him before he passed. So, thanks.
So my joy is that we had the Canadian part of the family down for an early Christmas, and we had our big Canadian Christmas dinner last night, which is very different from American, very interesting and fun. The downside of it was my future son-in-law, yesterday morning, his grandfather, shoveling snow in Montreal, collapsed of a heart, and he's gone. And he was only 66, so we got him on a plane out this morning. So rotten things to happen around the holidays, but anyway, thoughts for Vince and his grandfather.
So on Thursday, Mama is gonna have a birthday, and it's gonna be so much fun. Hello, I'm Livy, and I have 2 joys. My first joy is no week of school! And my second joy is that it is almost Christmas. I have nothing in my mind right now. It's almost Christmas. I think that's it. Thank you.
Hi, Larry Vita here. I have a great joy that last week I had a great birthday party here, and all of you came. I really appreciate it. It was really a lot of fun and awesome.
And I'm going to piggyback on that. I'm Jill Vita, and that was a great party. Thank everyone who came. But today, my joy is my brother is here visiting. He moved to Texas last year, but anyway, he's in the Air Force. It wasn't his fault. So, so he's here visiting, and we're going to go, all of us, to see David's show this afternoon. So we're all excited about that. And then on Wednesday, my 93-year-old dad will be coming down here, and I'm really excited about that.
Hi, Chloe A. McElroy. I have many joys. I actually was not here last week because I was at my friend's wedding. Tom and Scoots had a beautiful wedding in Gainesville. It was absolutely gorgeous. I missed Larry's birthday party because of that, which made me very sad, but happy birthday, Larry. Happy birthday to Sandra or your partner. I'm not sure whose birthday it is, but okay, happy birthday anyways. I very much am excited about the final public performance of A Christmas Carol yet again. It's been a lovely joy to direct it, and I'm just really happy that my sister and my brother-in-law are here as well. It's just been a really big season of joy and happiness, and sometimes I am not that happy about Christmas because it's just not been my favorite time, but it's starting to become more of a nice time for me, and that's been really, really nice because I'm normally a Grinch or a Scrooge around this time, but maybe my heart will grow a couple sizes.
Hi, Chloe Hatfield. I have a couple of joys. It's been a very eventful weekend starting Friday. I was able to go to Epcot with my friend Laura, who works at Disney, so thank you to Laura for letting me join in and experience Epcot again, because it's been years since I worked there. And I was able to try the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which was absolutely amazing. But also I was able to see Candlelight for the first time as a guest. I used to do it, I did it for 5 years as a vocalist in the choir, but I got to see it as a guest for the first time. And funny enough, not 2, but 3 other people who were exactly next to me as we were watching it from the walkway, they also did Candlelight. And so we were singing together in our respective parts, and it was so magical. And that just filled my heart with so much joy, and I was so glad that I had that opportunity. Yesterday, I went to Holiday Matsuri, which is a convention, and I have not gone to a convention, something I used to really love to do. Have not gone to a convention in over 6 years. So that was my first convention in a very long time, and I was able to see friends that I had not seen in years. So I was very happy to connect with those people and go out and do something that I love to do. And it was really nice to have that experience again. What's not so nice, though, is that my body is not the same as it was 6 years ago. And I did a lot of walking on Friday at Epcot, now add Holiday Matsuri in a very big hotel. My body hurts.
It is almost my birthday.
It's on the 23rd.
It's almost my mom's birthday in 4 days.
Very good. This is more of a thank you than a joy, but it's really both. I want to echo something Miak said, and that is, it's really amazing what this little group of people do and how much good. Following our potluck last Sunday, 12 maybe members of the choir sang Christmas songs for in the memory home where Judy is, and the residents absolutely loved it, and it was such a special time. So I don't know if there are any other members who were, but okay, good. So thank you so much.
I ride my bike to the camp and I fell down.
But you're okay, right?
Yes, I'm okay.
Hi, I am Remus James, and first of all, my joy is that I'm here because I haven't been here for a while. But my joy is also Chloe Hatfield reminded me I sang in Candlelight a couple weeks ago, And it was really cool to be like an honorary cast member at Disney for an evening, and it's been a long time since I've been to Disney, so that was cool.
We have had a lot of joys and concerns today. And I was going to say, if I trip, that'll be a concern. We put a stone in a glass container just to show how many joys and concerns we have. There are a lot in here today, but now is our time where we can hold those joys and concerns in our hearts. Let's take a moment of silence as we lift up all those concerns and joys that we have shared today. Amen, and let it be so. Now is our time for all ages, and Carol is going to come and do our time for all ages today. And Alan, thank you.
So tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, and we wanted to share with you lighting of the candles and to talk a little bit about, I bet if I had my glasses on, and talk a little bit about what Hanukkah is. When the Hanukkah candles are lit this year, once again, Jews around the world will be commemorating two important events. The first is the power of might. A small band of Jewish fighters led by Judah the Maccabee and his family were victorious over the Syrian Greek army. Overmatched in strength and experience, it was not expected that they would be able to turn back this huge foe and reclaim the temple in Jerusalem, which had been desecrated. Yet that's exactly what happened. They were able to emerge victorious due to their edge in strategy and bravery. It clearly was a victory brought on through the acts of these courageous people. The second event is called a miracle of light. When the victory was secured, they entered the temple in Jerusalem and found it was desecrated. There was only one small cruse of pure oil, enough to light a candle for one day. But the lit candle lasted 8 days in time to produce new pure oil, and the candle was able to remain lit and never burn out. This is why Jews light the menorah for 8 days. One candle in the first, 2 on the second, and so on, to commemorate this event. Other Hanukkah traditions are eating fried food like potato pancakes and fried donuts to commemorate the oil that lasted, playing dreidel. The kids, when they go to RE, are going to get dreidels and instructions on how to play them, and giving gifts. Giving gifts was not as big at the time they started celebrating, but in order to compete with another holiday around the same time, it used to be 1 gift per day for 8 days, and now, it is what it is. So Alan is going to light the menorah. We start with 1 candle. This is the shamash. We always light this first, and we use this to light the other candles. And we're not going to leave this lit because I'm afraid of them falling over.
I don't want Carol to get the only attention here, so I don't think I need it. This is an example of one out of about 18,400 styles of menorah. You have a lot of choices. We like this one because it shows family sitting in front. That's what holiday is. And so, the first night, we light the middle candle, which lights the rest of it. The Jewish prayer, the Hebrew prayer is, please stay lit, is could, but there we go. So it's Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lahadlik Ner Shel Chanukah, which stands for
Please make the candle stay lit.
Please make the candle stay lit. Which is, Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has sanctified us by his commandments and is hoping and praying and commanding us to light the Hanukkah candles. And I will just make sure it doesn't fall. And it's a simple little ceremony.
Thank you for sharing with us, and it's always good to hear of various traditions, and we have so many traditions that have events happening at this time of year, and it's important for us to understand all of them, and whether we are members of one particular group or another, we are all in this world together, and we are responsible for one another. And so thank you for sharing with us. We appreciate that. We now have the opportunity to show our support for the ministries not only of Triple U, but also of a nonprofit organization in our region who reaches out to others in need. 40% of our offering goes to a different group each quarter, and this quarter, as you can see, goes to the ACLU. So please give generously. And as the baskets are passed, we will hear a Christmas song, words and music by Robert Wells and Melvin Tomei. The Christmas song.
It's a Christmas song, but I think that it can be for Hanukkah too. Just minus the Santa word. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so we're offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Glorious Kwanzaa to you. We got the Hanukkah in there.
Thank you, Marilyn and inclusion. Now we sing our children out. Please join me. We love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Rev Tracie to her pulpit. And this morning we'll discover in this season of light how we can be light bearers and light the way to others. Reverend?
I always love when inclusion plays, but then I always feel like I gotta follow up that, and that's, you know. So one of my favorite parts of the holiday season are the light displays. What can I say? I'm a big kid at heart. I love the way that lights twinkle in the darkness, casting colorful and warm glows around them. Back in 2016, I happened to be up in New Hampshire for the beginning of December. And as some of our transplants here may already know, lights are even prettier on the snow. Not that I like lights enough to wish snow upon us, do not worry. But it's probably why it was this season that always made me long to be back in a faith community during the years I was trying to sort myself and my faith out. The winter holidays always have that feel of community for me. We gather, we eat, we laugh, we sing, sometimes we cry together. Whether blood or chosen family, we spend time with those who are important to us. And often, there are lights. Candles, lights on trees, lights on houses, various light displays around town, even just the coziness of a fire pit or a fireplace as we actually start feeling almost like winter here in Florida, which, good news, we actually will have winter this year for Christmas. It's magical. It brings the kid out in all of us. Now, one of my favorite memories growing up was my neighbors and their light displays. One of our neighbors had two different displays that always made me smile. One was a string of multicolored lights that hung with great precision across the front eave of the house. But it wasn't just the lights that made me smile. You see, they had them hooked up to music. They were magic, and they blinked to the music. Now, keep in mind, we are not talking about some kind of fancy Bluetooth setup with LEDs and lasers. No, this was your traditional 80s style big bulbs hooked up to a speaker that gently played a sort of piano harpsichord hybrid of instrumental Christmas songs. Nothing fancy by today's standards, but cool to 10-year-old Tracy. Even cooler was that when the air was cool, the music would travel further, and I could sometimes hear it in my room at night. The other cool thing they had were these simple battery-operated candlesticks, some in groupings of 3 or 5, and some just on their own. And these sat in every window of their house that faced the street. They came on at night with the rest of the lights, and they stayed on until morning. Perhaps it was my own love of candles that drew me to these simple displays. And perhaps it was the meaning I derived from those candles. You see, late at night, I would look out my window and see these candles across the street, shining long after the musical lights reached their timer limit. And I saw beacons, beacons of connection, beacons of safety, beacons of a place where I was welcome to come inside. Tonight marks the beginning of Hanukkah. And as we heard from Carol and Alan during our Time for All Ages, Hanukkah is the Jewish celebration in winter that celebrates the two miracles that happened in Judea in 139 BC. The Jewish Maccabees beat the Syrian Greek invaders, and a small jar of pure oil burned for 8 days in the temple menorah instead of just one, as it should have. It is a story of hope and perseverance, of the triumph of light over despair. It's celebrated by the nightly lighting of the menorah, each night lighting another candle so that by the 8th night the menorah is fully lit. And these menorahs are placed in windows or doorways, so much like my neighbor with her candles, they shine a beacon out into the world. More on that in a few. This Wednesday is the winter solstice for 2022. Now, the winter solstice is a scientific date. It simply marks the longest night of the year and is the official start to winter. And yet we also know it is a pagan holiday. As such, it marks the return of the light. Leading up to winter solstice, the nights grow longer and longer, and on that day, the night has progressed as far as it can. And the light returns little by little each day until it reaches its zenith at the summer solstice. Now, in many different cultures throughout history, this date has been celebrated as a time of renewal and rebirth. The Romans honored their god Saturn, who was in charge of agriculture and time. They had huge parties where the social constructs were turned upside down and no work was done during the celebrations. I know, right? I like that idea too. Pagans in Scandinavia celebrated by burning Yule logs, and lighting fires to symbolize the returning sun. They sat around bonfires and shared drink and stories. There were also stories of various gods and goddesses worshipped throughout cultures during the winter solstice. Many involved celebrating the Earth's regeneration or rebirth, and some involved entities that gave gifts to well-behaved children. Sound familiar? Winter solstice, or Yule, is the spiritual holiday that I celebrate in winter. I also celebrate Christmas, but typically more as a secular and community holiday. That said, for me, I follow traditional Celtic pagan observances. I will often light a fire at sunset, and like my ancestors, stay up all night to keep it burning to encourage the sun to return. Now, by light a fire, I mean light a candle, and by keep it burning, I mean use a 7-day glass candle and set it somewhere that my cats can't get to it. And by stay up all night, I mean I stay up a few hours later than normal and usually end up fading out about 2 or 3. I am not a young pagan anymore. However, during the time I am awake, I reflect on the year that has passed and focus on the year ahead. It's a time to do that introspective reflection and get quiet and cozy with myself. I often sit and meditate with the candle, using the soft glow of the flame as a beacon to draw myself out of myself. Both Hanukkah and winter solstice remind us that even in the darkest times, we can find hope and light within our communities and within ourselves. These holidays encourage us to look for the good in the world and to be a source of light for others. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe that every person has the inherent worth and dignity to be treated with kindness and respect. We also believe in the interconnectedness of all life. And we recognize that this world can be a challenging and difficult place, and we know that each and every one of us has the capacity to be a source of light for this world. We can each bring hope and healing to those around us. We can be the light in the world. We can light the way. How? Well, first of all, practicing kindness, especially during this season. We are still in the midst of COVID. Housing prices are skyrocketing. Incomes are staying stagnant or barely increasing to keep up. The cost of everything seems to be going up. Many people are unsure how they will support themselves next year. Our democracy and human rights are still at risk. The climate is rapidly changing and not in a good way. We are all stressed out at some level. We need to be kind. It sounds so simple though, doesn't it? It's not at all earth-shattering, but it is. Because small acts of kindness can go a long way in bringing light into someone else's day. A kind word, a helping hand, a thoughtful gesture. These little acts make a big difference in someone's life, and it's a way better contagion to spread this year. Another way we can be light to others is to be present and listen. This season can be hard for so many people for so many reasons: grief, pressure, estrangement, illness, and it can also be full of joy for many. And sometimes these are the same people. So it's important to be present with them. When you're visiting with someone, be there. Put the phone down. Spend the time with them. As we've learned the last few years, we are not guaranteed any amount of time. So let us be beacons to others by being fully there. I would contend, too, that the way to be able to be present for others is also to learn to be present to yourself. Listen to what's going on in your own body, in your mind, in your heart during this time. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What do you need right now to feel safe, secure, and supported? And then do that for yourself. Because you are the person you are going to be with for the rest of your life. Be good to yourself by being present. Here's the thing. Those people who are able to be fully present with themselves and others, they radiate. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You've seen these people. Have you been around someone who's really good at being fully present with people? They shine. They glow like candles in a menorah or bonfires in a field. They give off a sense of safety, security, and support. And we need that in our world. Another way we can be lights in the world is to share our gifts and our talents. As we say here at Triple U, we'll gladly accept your time, talent, or treasure. And one way we here help the community is by sharing our treasure with local organizations. The Knights Pantry, the Toy Drive, the Share the Plate we do. The way we help the community is by sharing our time and talent to keep this congregation going and growing. From our volunteers who make Sunday mornings happen, to our dedicated volunteers who manage communities or serve on our board. Whether you only come on Sunday mornings or you're here every time those doors are open, your presence here affects others. You never know if you are the one who will have the right words to say to someone at a specific time. No one else can be the light that you are. All of our lights are needed here. Both Hanukkah and winter solstice are about light, the light of the menorah and the light of the sun, but they are also about so much more. They're about hope, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit. At this time of year, it is especially important to remember that we are all connected. We are all part of a larger whole. We are all made of star stuff, and it is our responsibility to shine like those stars. So as we celebrate Hanukkah and the winter solstice this week, let us remember to be the light in the world. Let us be a source of hope and inspiration to those around us. Let us find ways to bring joy and happiness to those in need. Let us reach out to others with kindness and compassion. Let us light the way by being kind, by being present and listening, and by sharing our gifts and our talents. May the lights of these holidays guide us as we continue on our journey. And may we be the candles in the windows for those who are lost in the night, to remind them that there is always a way to find the light. Amen. May it be so, and blessed be.
We come now to extinguish our chalice that we lit at the beginning of our service, but we carry in our hearts. We extinguish it here as we say these words. We extinguish this flame, not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our closing music this morning is a traditional song with new words by Lindsay Strode.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Blessed Kwanzaa, joyous Yule, happy Diwali, and a peaceful new year. Candles we light as the solstice draws near. We wish you happy holidays and a peaceful new year. We wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Blessed Kwanzaa, Joyous Yule, Happy Diwali, and a peaceful new year.
Thank you, Lindsay. My closing words this morning come from a poem that was inspired by the article that I read to you at the beginning of our worship service. It's a poem written by Leslie Klein titled Season of Light. A poem penned for the season of luminescence and long nights. This season is ripe with festivity, ancestral rituals of joy, love, peace, merge with ancient customs honoring a celestial pattern of solar rebirth. In this season of light, the sun commences to lengthen our days. We remember the starlight guiding sages to the child. The festival of light celebrates the enduring lamp oil, illuminating a new beginning for a people. All who gather are entwined. They're entwined in this web of winter wonder. Light the candles, incense, and Yule log. The bright spirit of yearly rejoicing is upon us. And now, my friends, our time of gathering and worship has ended. Our service now begins. So go out into the world, be strong and of good courage, hold fast to that which is good. Render no one evil for evil, but go, rejoicing in the power of our creative and loving spirit. But before you go, enjoy some goodies. Thank you.